It's Wednesday, July 23rd. In the headlines, the National Water Commission responds as drought conditions affect water supply systems across several parishes. In business news, toll road operations are being developed. Regionally, Trinidad and Tobago's government hosts a national cyber drill. And in sports, West Indies lose to Australia in the second T20 international match at Sabina Park. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The National Water Commission, NWC, is intensifying its monitoring and response efforts as prolonged drought conditions continue to impact several of its water supply systems across the island. In addition to existing water supply regulations already in place at the Mona and Hope treatment facilities, the NWC has reported reduced production capacity at several other systems due to significantly low inflows at surface water sources. Affected parishes include St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, rural St. Andrew, and St. Thomas, where some water supply systems are now operating at just 60 to 20% of their normal output. To manage the ongoing situation and ensure equitable distribution of available resources, the NWC has implemented a series of operational adjustments, including regulated water supply schedules in impacted communities, interconnection of select pipeline networks to balance supply, accelerated leak detection and repairs, deployment of trucked water to supplement supply in several affected areas. The NWC is urging customers to conserve water wherever possible and to report leaks promptly to aid in the management of the limited supply during this challenging period. In a follow-up story, more than 200 e-fitness certificates have been issued since the launch of the new system on July 21. Motorists are being reminded that the tax administration's motor vehicle certificate of fitness is being issued electronically now, accessible through the TAJ's online certificate generation and delivery service. Director General of the Island Traffic Authority, Colonel Daniel Price, gives us some guidelines.
You must issue to us a proof of payment. Customer must present a valid receipt issued by the Tax Administration Jamaica prior to your vehicle undergoing the inspection. You will also be required to submit to us an active email address, which must be clearly written on the inspection receipt, which will be issued to you at the service hub. This receipt must be then handed to the motor vehicle examiner during the inspection process.
He says upon successful inspection and data entry, the system will generate a reference number, which will be sent to the email that is provided. Under the new regime, motorists will no longer face traffic tickets for failing to present printed copies of their motor vehicle fitness and registration certificates, as a new electronic system takes effect this week. The TAJ is reminding persons that under the new arrangement, they will no longer be in breach. TAJ is also reiterating to customers that if they renewed their registration prior to July 21, they do not need to renew because of the change. Jamaica has opened a new modern forensic pathology autopsy suite in downtown Kingston, costing $680 million. Located at 149 Orange Street, the facility is being used to improve the timelines and accuracy of forensic examinations and reduce reliance on private funeral homes, which previously caused delays. We learn more about its function in this JIS feature.
Historic step forward for national security, justice, science, and public health. Jamaica now leads the Caribbean in forensic advancement. The Ministry of National Security officially opens the state-of-the-art forensic pathology autopsy suite built to international standards and designed to meet the growing needs of a modern justice system.
Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine is a critical institution in the entire security architecture and a part of the Plan Secure Jamaica program. It's critical because it is important that when criminals are apprehended, we can take them to court with irrefutable evidence and have successful prosecution.
We have designed a building that is 1,500 square meters, which comes out at about 16,700 square feet. We have parking for 43 cars. We have covered areas for places like when the bodies are brought in, they brought them under the shade, take them into the area where they weigh the bodies, and then they take them into the cooler rooms. This particular room is what I consider the engine of the entire building, where 10 people who would work in here as pathologists, totaling 120 bodies can hold in this building. So, for example, if you have an earthquake and we have problems in the country, this building can't stop. It has every backup that we can say to make sure that nothing stops. It has to run. And there's a lot of equipment and rooms. Also, how people come into the building. The police are properly positioned that they can control anybody coming into the building. Also, there are cards that some people can allow into some areas, others can't. So those are the kind of things that go on. It is very sophisticated.
Jamaica has not had a national, public morgue since the 1970s. My understanding is that the facility was destroyed by fire. Now, what this really meant is that we were conducting postmortems in private funeral homes, in an unregulated industry. And when you consider the justice and security implications of that, there was really a need to have this facility in place at the earliest opportunity.
This project was started in October 2021, to be exact, the 14th of October. My experience with this, I think I've learned a lot on this building, being the first building of its kind in the Caribbean. And it's a unique building. Most of us, if not all of us who work on this building, see it as being unique to the country.
Students, policemen who can come, look at what the pathologists are working on, and we can ask questions as they work along. And that applies here as well. This particular one behind us is really the one that the police use. And if they have questions, they can talk to the pathologists from the room up there and make their own notes, because all of that sometimes comes into the courts.
There is a nexus between security, economic and social development, no doubt about that, all right? What this facility will do is to contribute in a very meaningful way in improving the investigative capacity of law enforcement and all the other entities, within the justice system, the courts, to have access to forensic certificates in a timely manner to ensure that the right perpetrators are brought to justice. You can see how it will actually strengthen security, justice, and by extension, economic and social progress.
There is no doubt that a quality criminal justice system is important for national development. And that's what the autopsy suite brings to the table.
It's going to be groundbreaking for our country in terms of the national security implication.
Ultra-modern facility, certainly the best in the Caribbean.
This facility is more than mortar and equipment. It is a testament that the government remains steadfast in its commitment to truth, accountability, and the pursuit of justice.
The award-winning feature film, The Life Coach, a moving exploration of resilience, mental health, and the redemptive power of love, is set to make its debut on Friday, July 25. The PBCJ News team was invited to a private screening at the headquarters of the Palace Cinemas to get some insight from Jamaican advocates of the arts. Written, directed, and produced by filmmaker Patricia Bebia, The Life Coach has earned widespread international acclaim, garnering 13 prestigious awards. Among its accolades are Best Film in all categories at the New York International Women Film Festival, Best Director for an Inspirational Film at the Director Talents Awards in London.
I'm overjoyed that people are going to see this film and it's going to impact them, because this film is a message. It's a message for now.
The film tells the story of Gary Johnson, a celebrated motivational speaker whose polished public persona hides a legacy of deep personal trauma. Life coach and motivational speaker Alex Ihama notes that men are often sidelined in incidents of abuse, and perpetrators are often victims themselves, especially men.
When you go through abuse, you don't know this, you become an attraction for abuse. Women start to look for men that would beat them up. Men too start to look for women.
Here's what members of the audience had to say about the movie.
I think it's a very, very important film for everyone to see, especially in our country here in Jamaica, because the business of parenting and there's no lesson, there's no book on parenting, and that's what the essence of the story was, in the end, that parenting failed. We have to learn to parent, we have to learn to love ourselves and love each other, and this film gives a very clear picture. Everybody should see this film. It's a very important.
The conversation about mental health is one that I think is necessary because everybody's dealing with trauma. Literally everybody I deal with some kind of trauma. The challenge is that we don't have enough rooms or spaces to talk about it in a place where people feel comfortable talking about it.
Glad to have the opportunity to witness the film today because it spoke to some very important issues.
What are those important issues?
Well, first of all, identity, because the real thing that the protagonist struggle with is who is he and why is he that way and what is he meant to do. So that kind of took us through the various stages as he tried to hide it from other people and then discovered it for himself and was able to share.
Don't you think that's familiar as to how our society deals with mental health and the need for help? We tend to not talk about it, don't you think?
Yeah, because as a society we tend to keep our true selves away from everybody else because we're afraid of what people will find, because sometimes we don't like ourselves. And you have to kind of go through and learn, and as he said, he had some people we could count on and who really were prepared to love him no matter what, and that's the real key.
More than just a cinematic experience, The Life Coach also aims to give back. A portion of ticket sales from its Jamaican screenings will be donated to the Kiwanis Club of Kingston, supporting the organization's ongoing work to uplift children, youth, and families across the island. The Life Coach opens in local cinemas on July 25. Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Chief Executive Officer of Trans-Jamaican Highway, Ivan Anderson, says the company will be investing $470 million Jamaican dollars this year to improve traffic flow through its toll booths. Among the upgrades will be enhancements to the way T-tags are read, allowing real-time account balance updates as motorists exit toll plazas. Motorists will also be able to top up their T-tag accounts through multiple channels, including WhatsApp, petrol stations via Go Top Ups, and at the toll booths. In addition, toll users will soon be able to pay using credit cards, and a new tap-and-go system will allow drivers to tap their credit cards at toll booths without needing help from an attendant. There are now 14 securities listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange's bond market with a total value of 21.1 billion Jamaican dollars and US $32 million. The latest addition comes from Barita Investments, which recently listed 5 tranches of a bond valued at 4.74 billion Jamaican dollars. This move increases the number of local bond issues to 14 and brings the number of US dollar denominated bonds to 3. According to Therese Kettle, Senior Vice President for Investment Banking at Barita, speaking to RJR News, the listing reflects the company's commitment to supporting Jamaican businesses by providing short, medium, and long-term funding. The JSE bond market was relaunched in 2013, with Access Financial Services becoming the first to list a bond worth 102.5 million Jamaican dollars. Investors can get ready for passive income from dividends. Grace Kennedy Limited has advised that the board of directors will, on Thursday, July 31, 2025, consider the declaration of an interim dividend to be paid in September 2025. Kingston Properties Limited has declared a dividend payable on August 26, 2025 to shareholders on record as at August 5, 2025. Stationery and Office Supplies Limited has declared a dividend of 2 cents per ordinary stock unit payable on August 22, 2025 to shareholders on record as at August 8, 2025. For the trading period ending July 22, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 3,555,330 units traded, representing 29.72% of market sales volume. Financial conglomerate NCB Financial Group Limited with 1,450,537 units traded, representing 12.13% of market sales volume. Energy firm Wigton Energy Limited with 1,230,390 units traded, representing 10.29% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On July 22, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $40.03 million purchased and $49.95 million US sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $2.04 per dollar, selling the US at $161.29 and buying the US at $159.25. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $6.84 per transaction, with selling at $111.89 and buying at $118.73. The British pound yielded Forex traders $1.72 in profit, with selling at $217.12 and buying at $215.40. For our credit report tip of the day, pull your credit report today. Don't wait. If you're building a business, your personal credit score isn't just a number, it's a tool. Before you apply for a business loan, lease a workspace, or negotiate with suppliers, your credit history is being reviewed behind the scenes. Take control by reviewing your credit report, identifying errors, paying down high balances, and creating a plan to separate personal and business credit. Every entrepreneurial move you make is easier when your financial foundation is strong, and it starts with action. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, Trinidad and Tobago has launched its first ever national cyber drill, with Trinidad and Tobago aiming to become a more digital society Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence Minister Dominic Smith says cybersecurity must be treated as a matter of public trust and national security. The two-day cyber drill brings together government agencies for real-world simulations, testing how well they can respond to growing digital threats. TTT's Daniel John brings us the details.
If you are prepared, you need not worry. If you are prepared, you need not worry.
Quoting a famous Japanese proverb, Minister of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence Dominic Smith emphasized the pressing need to boost the country's cyber resilience in the government's drive toward a more digital society. Speaking during this country's inaugural National Cyber Drill 2025 on Tuesday, the minister emphasized the critical role of cybersecurity, stating it's no longer just a technical necessity.
It's a core pillar of what I consider public trust. It's also a core pillar of good governance. Because the world in which we live in, we must be able to trust the government, to trust their policy, to trust that they're putting mechanisms and plans towards the benefit of the citizens, towards each and every one of you.
The event, hosted by iGovTT, was held in response to the ever-evolving threat of cyber attacks aimed at strengthening Trinidad and Tobago's cybersecurity resilience.
There must be urgency dealing with crime. There must be urgency dealing with issues of cybersecurity. There must be urgency dealing with all matters of national threat. And that is the initiative of this government.
Minister Smith said the cyber drill also aims to empower ministries, departments, and agencies with the skills, awareness, and collaborative mindset needed to defend the digital estate. And what is a cyber drill? Deputy Chief Executive Officer of iGovTT, Charles Bob Semple, outlined the agenda.
Over the next 2 days, participants will be immersed in a series of hands-on exercises designed to simulate real-world cyber attack scenarios. The drills focusing on open source intelligence and incident response are meticulously crafted to test our collective readiness, sharpen our skills, and enhance our operational coordination.
The Cyber Drill 2025 ends on Wednesday with a closing and awards ceremony.
With road fatalities continuing to claim young lives, the traffic department in Guyana says one life lost is one too many. Officials say reckless driving is fueled by poor planning, risky attitudes, and a culture of bending the rules, and it's a growing concern. In 2024 alone, over 139,000 traffic offenses were recorded and nearly 90,000 so far in 2025. The Guyanese department is ramping up enforcement and awareness efforts.
This is a genuine concern for us in the traffic department, as one life lost on the road is one too many. Reckless driving in our country is unfortunately driven by a combination of mixed attitude, lateness, poor planning of a journey, and a long-standing tendency towards supporting bending the rules. Younger folks continue to speed, and when accidents occur, young people also lose their lives. So what have we done exactly? Our enforcement postures have taken into consideration what prevails, and over the 2 periods you have mentioned, we've yielded, through our efforts, 139,000+ cases in 2024. In 2025 so far, we've recorded 89,506 cases for all offenses. We know and we recognize, therefore, we partner with critical stakeholders to take the message of safety and raise awareness in each space. Taking the message further, we have dedicated television programs and radio programs, so the audience reach is greater, the target audience even reached further. What I want to say to parents, especially, is that the orientation of a child, though he or she has attained adulthood, is continuous to teach them what is right from what is wrong or what is beneficial for them.
Antiguan farmers are getting a hands-on look at agricultural innovation thanks to a partnership with Longpin High Tech Corporation. On Friday, the public was invited to a special harvest event at the Green Castle Agricultural Station in Bendels. ABS's Helisha Humphreys brings us the story.
Longping High-Tech Corporation once again invited the public to take part in its harvest at the Green Castle Agricultural Station in Bendels on Friday, July 18.
农业部感谢这个推广师，感谢这个国林。
The reason why we want to have this kind of activity today is because we want to share our technologies and all the experiences with local farmers and all local techniques. We want to, through this bilateral cooperation program, to enhance agriculture in Antigua.
The invitees included backyard farmers who praised the benefits the bilateral relationship has brought the country.
We don't need to import anything like this anymore. No. We don't need to import anything like this anymore. If this goes on your table fresh, even if you're a backyard farmer, you can have a bank or have a bank of this in your house. You can make money and you can eat good quality fresh food. There's no going back in the next level of our agriculture. I will say thank you to Longping. Thank you to the People's Republic of China for their bilateral relation and program. And thank you to all the staffs and farmers.
Longping's sharing of seeds, harvest, and knowledge has also inspired one farmer to take the leap into the commercial space.
I did a course in October down at the Villa Polyclinic, and as a result of that, I was chosen to go to China. I stayed in China for 3 weeks, and I just came back maybe about 2.5 weeks ago. Whatever technology I need in terms of training and hands-on training in the practical field, I generally come out to Green Castle, and where I'm going wrong, they will tell me, well, you're going wrong in this field, and to correct that procedure.
It is hoped that such initiatives not only bolster the country's agricultural knowledge, but also pushes the country towards complete food security.
In sports, we focus on cricket. The West Indies cricketers are back at the drawing board after losing to Australia for the second time on Tuesday in as many matches, this time aided by the impish John Inglis. He led Australia to a 2-0 lead after Andre Russell's final 2 T20 internationals. At first, the crowd cheered in hope at Sabina Park, thrilled by Russell's parting 36 from 15 balls, but were later having to duck for cover as Inglis 78 from 33 and Green 56 from 32 made short work of a chase for 173 to win, rushing to the target with 28 balls to spare. Since that defeat, there have been calls for a complete overhaul of Cricket West Indies to return to the success that the teams had in the 1970s and 1980s. Sports Minister Olivia Grange and former national batsman Mark Nita says grassroots development will be key in the region's side's resurgence on the world stage. And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.